Hi, and welcome to the market update. I'm going to be doing this every week or so as the market indicates and as things transpire in this unique situation. So let's get started. Let's talk about rates. The Feds is holding the key to lower rates. But the one thing that they are focused on before they can do anything is the labor market. Listening to Chairman Powell's comments at Jackson Hole last Friday and reading between the lines, he needs to see a weak jobs report to finally pause the rising interest rates. According to technical analysis from Katie Stockton and MBS Highways Barry Habib, that there will be a move to a lower 10-year yield, which directly affects the 30-year fixed rates from the 4.2% we've been teetering on for the past 2 weeks to 3.95 in the next 2 months. Let's hope the BLS jobs reports work in our favor. Reports may affect interest rates in the coming weeks. So let's get started. Tuesday, the Case-Shiller Home Pricing Index comes out. Wednesday, there's a bunch. Mortgage apps for the previous week, the EDP employment report, second quarter's GDP, a second reading, which means corrections were probably made, pending home sales. And on Thursday, the personal consumption expenditures, the PCE, and the initial jobless claims. But the big one is on Friday, the BLS jobs report. So let's focus on the economy. Loan losses are rising again at banks after reaching historical low levels. Lenders report that 19 million in charge-offs losses on loans that lenders deem recoverable in the second quarter, the highest level in more than 3 years. More than half of the recent losses have come from credit card lending and also commercial real estate. Borrowers have variable rates like commercial real estate are now saddled with higher payments, and the landlords are struggling to rent out office spaces to buildings due to the remote work industry now after COVID. There are still several sources of strain in the U.S. financial sector. Funding costs and declining income weakened profitability in the second quarter for banks. They have lost deposits for the past 5 quarters as some folks are tapping into their savings. Banks are still using the Federal Reserve's emergency lending programs. Loans from these Fed facilities have stayed above $100 billion since the first week in June, though borrowing has stabilized since a string of bank failures this spring. The average credit card interest rate is 24.76%, according to Forbes Advisor's weekly credit rates report. What does this mean to you? So let's say that you've got a client that's sitting on a 3% mortgage and they're wanting to move, but they're waiting for rates to get lower. This is how we get them to understand the truth. If you're sitting at 24.76% interest rates and 3.5%, you combine those rates and you're actually paying roughly a 12% interest for all of those loans. So it might be something to discuss with your clients. I have a short video that helps go into detail about this that I will share in the comments below. Let's talk about the great state of Texas. So our state representatives met in the Capitol this year. They do it every other year, and they have proposed some few amendments to the Texas Constitution. These amendments will be proposed on the voting ballot on November 7th election. These are 14 proposals, but there is one in particular that I thought you might find interesting. It is based upon the lowering of the property taxes for the school tax. So, for example, right now, if you are homesteading your property, you are getting $40,000 off the taxable value for school tax. They are proposing, and if it is approved on election day, a $100,000 tax break temporarily for a minimum of 3 years, which could, in December when taxes are due, lower your amount due to the counties and the school district, which is a nice break, but do realize this is only temporary. And if you do or don't want this, be sure you make sure you go out and vote on November the 7th. Now, there are 13 other propositions. I have linked below the state ballot in order. So this is it. This is just the information. I may post a few times to give you updates on great information that comes available. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.